Good afternoon and welcome to Ripon Brewery Park today, where the Lady Tigers host Berlin Indians in the second regular season contest of the year on Ripon Senior Night. We're playing bringing you today's girls softball action alongside our executive producer Jason Motter in the first meeting between these two back in April on the 29th. Tigers walked away with a 22-1 victory. Ripon lost Campbellsport last week, Thursday, 4-1. And Ripon comes into today's game with a 3-7 East Central Conference record and a 4-9 overall record. Meanwhile, Berlin lost to Amaro Wednesday in a non-conference matchup, 13-3. And Berlin is 0-10 in the East Central Conference and 2-12 overall. So first batter for Berlin steps up to the plate, puts down a bunt, and she'll make it to first base safe. That's Josie Bartle. She puts down a base hit bunt for the opening here this afternoon. Next batter will be Jenna Negber. Jenna pitching for Berlin this afternoon. And she lays down a bunt, and they'll get her out over it. Oh, the umpire's saying she's safe. Base umpire saying she's safe. So runners on first and second to start out here for Berlin this afternoon. As that's going to be two bunt hits in a row for Berlin. So Ripon, I'm sure, will be looking for another one here on this next batter. And a strike to Jalen Moan. So strike one. Only the third pitch of the game and already two runners on base for Berlin here in this opening inning. First inning, top of the first. No outs with runners at first and second for Berlin, and Jalen Moan at the plate with one strike. Pitching for Ripon, she's got a ball now, but pitching for Ripon is Layla Simonis. They try to get the batter, or the runner rather, at second base off the bag, but she gets back in time. So Berlin off and running here to start things off this afternoon against the Tigers. They're hoping not to have a repeat of what's been going on with them most of the season. Now strike two. Takes a big swing at the ball. One ball, two strikes to Jalen Moan. Maddie Rilling on deck. Moan plays shortstop for Berlin. And a swing and a miss for the first strike here this afternoon. Strikeout, rather. So one down now with runners at first and second for Berlin. And coming up to bat is Maddie Rilling, second baseman for Berlin. Let's see what she does here. She'll get a ball. So 1-0 count to Maddie Rilling. She steps back up to the plate. Wind blowing pretty good here this afternoon as she takes ball two. Next pitch is a ball as well, so ball three. 3-0 count to Maddie Rilling. Runners at first and second. Top of the first inning, one out here for the Indians. And Simonis Walker, base on balls for Rilling, is going to load up the bases this afternoon to open this game up. Hannah Negber comes up. She's a designated hitter, or designated person as they're calling him now. Negber catches a small piece of it and tips it back for foul. Strike one. I want to thank you all for joining us all season. We've only got a very few number of games left in this season. And strike. Catches the outside edge for strike 2. 0-2. The count to Nigber. And catches that one, tips it back foul. The count will hold at no balls, 2 strikes here this afternoon. We'll keep an eye on the JV game as well. They're playing Elmira this afternoon. And a base hit going to go over the head of the shortstop, Motter. And 2 runs will come in to score here this afternoon for Berlin early here in this game. So a 2-run base hit for Hannah Nigber. She'll be on first, and Maddie Rilling will be on second for the Indians. And now a bunt laid down. Downs gets over, picks it up, gets it over to first for the out. But runners will advance to second and third. So nice play by Avery Downs, who's playing third for Ripon, to pick up that bunt and fire it over to first to get the second out here in the top of the first inning. As Jenna Sterninski, left fielder for Berlin, steps into the box for the Berlin Indians. She'll take ball 1. Nice stop by Avery Makarevich. She gets on that ball and does a pretty good job of stopping them pitches. So ball 1 to Jenna. 1-0, and she hits this one right back, and it goes to 1 run's going to score, and 2 runs are going to score as ball gets away over at first base. Sterninski gets on, and we almost have to give her a base hit on that. She hit a good ball, so that was really not the error of second baseman. That was more a good base hit by Jenna this afternoon. So that's going to put 1 runner on. 4 runs have come across here for Berlin this afternoon in the top of the first inning. At the plate is Alyssa Smoody. She takes ball 1. Now she hits it right back at the pitcher, and Abby Radloff goes and slides over to second base and picks up the ball and gets the third out rather for the afternoon here in the top of the first inning. But Berlin scores 4 runs here on about 3 hits. So with the score, Berlin leading 4-0. Ripon will be coming up to the plate to start the bottom of the first inning. Back here at Murray Park, starting the bottom of the first inning for Ripon. Kajabuski, she hits a line drive, and the shortstop for Berlin reaches up and grabs it. That's Jalen Moan, and that'll be out number 1 for the Tigers. Nice hit. The wind probably even affected that a little bit. Lexi Miller will step up for Ripon, and she'll pop one up foul. First pitch to Miller is popped up foul. As they'll get ready for the second pitch to Miller. And she'll pop one up to left field. That's going to drop for a base hit for Lexi. Lexi been having some pretty good outings here the last few games. She's got a home run under her belt this season. got that down at Kewaskum. So Abby Radloff steps into the box now for Ripon. Low pitch, and Miller's going to go to second. Wild pitch. So ball 1 to Abby Radloff for a 1-0 count. This afternoon looks like Abby's got a new bat, a black and orange bat. She'll step up, and another ball to Abby. Ball 2. 2-0 count. Berlin leading here early in the game. They put 4 runs across in the top of the first inning. Ripon trying to match that at least here in the bottom of the first. And Radloff tags one, hits it foul. It's going to make it a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Abby Radloff. I hope the wind isn't causing us too much trouble as it's blowing through the mic here. Pretty good wind blowing here this afternoon, coming out of the south-southwest. And the next pitch is going to put Radloff on base on balls. Puts runners at first and second with 1 out. Avery Makarevich will step up to the plate. Avery, the catcher for Ripon. So first pitch to Makarevich is going to be low. And now Ripon trying to steal. And Lexi Miller ends up at third, and Radloff at second. So runners in scoring position for Ripon here. 2 runners with Makarevich up to bat. She's got 1 ball on her right now. 1 ball, no strikes is the count to Makarevich. Ball outside for 2-0 count now. So Ripon trying to get on the board as well here this afternoon. Here in the bottom of the first inning. Now another ball pitched to Makarevich. So 3 balls, no strikes to Avery. Pitcher for Berlin is Jenna Negber. Jenna, if I recall right, well, both of the Negber girls pitched against Ripon at the game over in Berlin, second game of the season on that, I believe that was the 29th of April. Ripon won that game 12 to 2. Excuse me, 22 to 1. I was looking at the game against Amro for Berlin yesterday, and Makarevich takes a base on ball. So bases loaded with Cassidy Motter coming up to the plate for the Tigers. Cassidy's got a home run under her belt, and Cassidy a senior this year. Seniors on this season's Ripon High School softball team are Lexi Miller, Avery Downs, and Cassidy Motter. And first pitch is a ball to Motter. A little bit high. So 1-0 count to Cassidy. Next one's a strike. 1-1 count now to Cassidy. I had the girls write a few short paragraphs, and I'll read each one of those paragraphs here at the bottom of each inning, here in the first 3 innings of the game. And Motter connects with it, but it's going to go foul down the left field fence. Runners hold at their bases. Bases loaded here with 1 out. And a 3-1 count on, excuse me, 2-ball, 1-strike count on Cassidy. Cassidy up to the plate once again. And she tags that one. This one's going to go high and going to go foul, but the left fielder, Jenna Straninsky, can't get to it. The ball was probably a bit hard for her to judge with this wind blowing. I'm sure that's going to make some difference here this afternoon. At the moment it let up a little bit, but it was blowing pretty good when that ball was hit out to the left field foul line. And Motter pops one up, and that's going to go to first base. Runners will hold. So a pop-up to the first baseman for Berlin will result in out number 2 for the Tigers. As Erica Mills steps up to the plate. Erica plays first base for Ripon. Erica waits for the first pitch, and that comes right straight back. That's going to bring a run across the plate, and Lexi Miller is down and safe. She slides into home. So Ripon gets on the board to make it a 4-1 game as Berlin leads now by 3. 4-1 here in favor of Berlin at the moment, with runners at second and third for the Tigers. Erica Mills at the plate. Waits for the next pitch. That was right there for a strike. Gives her 1 ball, 1 strike count. 2 outs here for Ripon. Mills steps back into the box, waits for the pitch. And tags this one. It'll go foul behind us for a strike. That's going to be 1-2 count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch. And she hits that one down the third base foul line, and it goes foul. I think the wind had a lot to do with that one. It was looking good, and then it took off to the left and went foul. Nice hit by Mills. Unfortunately, the wind helped it go out of bounds down the third base foul line. So she steps back up, and a wild pitch is going to bring a run across. And that's Radloff, and coming in also Makarevich, and Makarevich scores, and that's going to bring our score to 3-4. Ripon goes down by only 1 now. Heads up running by Makarevich to get in. As Mills with a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Mills will step back up to the plate. 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Erica. And she hits that one. That's going to go foul behind us as well. So Mills getting some swings in here. They always say the longer the batter's at the plate, the more that the pitches start to favor the batter. This one's low, and she gulps at it, hits it foul. High pop-up foul. That one would have been a ball if she hadn't taken a cut at it, but she golfed that one. Took a chop at it is more like what it was. And this one she'll tag, and that's going to go a pop-up to third base for out number 3, but Ripon gets 3 runs across on 1 hit. At the end, the 1 complete inning of play, the score, Berlin 4 and Ripon 3. I told you I was going to read some of these short paragraphs by the senior girls that they provided me here. And we'll look at Lexi Miller first. Lexi says, I'm planning to attend Madison Area Technical College to become a veterinary technician. My favorite memory is hitting my first home run and coming to home plate with everybody standing and waiting to congratulate me. And I think she's talking about the home run she hit down in Boston. Zach. Only home run, and unfortunately it was in a losing effort, but Avery having a good season this year. She had the base hit here early in the first inning for the Tigers. So starting at the top of the second inning for the Indians, it'll be Claire Bartle stepping up to the plate. Claire Bartle plays first base. And she'll take a ball for the first pitch. The wind here trying to blow me away. Or actually my materials I've got here. I've got everything in a sheet protector and they're acting like parachutes. So, ball and a strike to Bartle. As she'll step back up and takes another ball by Simonis. Makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes now. If it wasn't for the wind, it would be really nice out here. Now another ball to Simonis. Nice stop by Makarevich. That was a low pitch, very low pitch. Next pitch, and that's going to put Bartle on a base on balls. So Berlin starts out with their first batter on first base on a base on balls, and that's going to bring up Josie Bartle. Josie, a left-handed batter for the Indians. She had a base hit on a bunt as she opened up the game, and bunts again, puts it down the third baseline. Downs over to pick it up and puts her out at first base for out number 1, but Claire Bartle will move to second. So Downs starting at third base today for the Tigers on senior night. And Jenna Negber steps up, the pitcher. Runner at second, and 1 out. She takes a swing and a miss for strike 1. Once again, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us. We're glad we're able to bring you these games. And the next pitch is in there. She swings under it for strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes to Jenna Negber. Had lots of comments from parents and coaches, and not just Ripon, but other coaches, other team coaches as well, how they have enjoyed us providing this as Negber strikes out for out number 2. Big swinging strikeout for Negber. As Jalen Moan will step up to the plate. Moan struck out in the first inning. She'll foul first pitch back for strike 1. Runner at second. 2 outs here for Berlin. And she'll tag the next pitch, and that's going to go foul, laying on top of the Berlin dugout for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Jalen Moan. Layla Simonis doing the pitching for Ripon here in the top of the second inning. And she throws a ball. Makes it a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Moan. Next pitch. That's going to drop low for ball 2 with a 2 ball, 2 strike count. We've got 2 outs, runner at second for Berlin. Next pitch is a ball as well. So full count against Jalen. Simonis loses her full count, and she just couldn't get her to bite on that. So that'll put runners at second first and second, as Maddie Rilling will come up to the plate. Maddie had a base on balls in the first inning. She scored a run here, and she tags this one, goes to Downs. Downs on her knee. She throws it over to first base for out number 3. Nice stop by Avery Downs at third base as that ball went right down the third base line. She threw it over to first and gets the out. Out number 3. And keeps Berlin from scoring any runs here in the top of the second inning. As our score at the end of 1.5 innings, Berlin 4 and Ripon 3. Up. Back here in the bottom of the second inning with Ripon trailing by 1 run, 4-3. Eva Baker steps up to the plate for the Tigers. Baker with the first pitch. I believe that was a ball. And next pitch is a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Baker here in the second inning. Baker up for the first time here this afternoon. As she waits for the third pitch from Negber. And that's in there. She'll belt that one, but it's going to go foul down the third baseline. Out of play. So strike 2 to Eva Baker. 1 ball, 2 strikes here this afternoon. Baker, a sophomore for the Tigers. Next pitch is going to be a ball. That's going to sail right back here to the fence. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As another ball to Eva Baker. Going to give her a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Eva Baker. Pitch, and that was low, but she took a cut at it. She could have had a base on balls, but now we're going to have sand in our face. The wind really picking up and pulling the sand off the diamond. As full count to Baker. 3 balls, 2 strikes. She steps back up again. Low pitch is going to put her on a base on balls. So first batter up for Ripon in the bottom of the second inning gets on balls as Layla Simonis, Ripon's pitcher, steps into the box for the Tigers. So she waits for the first pitch from Negber, and it's right down the middle. She'll pop it up. Negber will get under it for her. Out number 1. So 1 away here for Ripon. As Avery Downs, senior for Ripon this year, she will step up to the plate. And Downs will take strike 1, or ball 1 rather, low pitch. Wind really picking up here, picking the dirt up right off the sand up off the diamond. And Downs will hit it over to shortstop, and shortstop will bobble it, and she'll get on. So that'll put runners at first and second with the top of the order coming up for Ripon. Emily Kushabuski. Emily had a ground flyout rather to the shortstop. She rather got robbed of a hit as she had a nice base hit, except shortstop robbed her of it. So runners at second and third now on a wild pitch from Negber. So two runners in scoring position for the Tigers. Emily Kushabuski with a 1-ball, 0 strike count as the Berlin coach wants a timeout to talk things over with his pitcher, Jenna Negber. Coach for Berlin, Tom Brunig. So he's going to talk things over a little bit with Jenna, and now he'll come back to the dugout. So Emily Kushabuski will step back up to the plate for the Tigers with a 1-ball, no strike count as Berlin leads it here 4-3, the bottom of the second inning, with runners on second and third for the Tigers. 1 out. And next ball she hits down the third baseline, foul for strike 1, giving Kushabuski a 1-ball, 1 strike count. Emily Kushabuski will step back up to the plate. Look as if she's going to bunt, but most of the time she pulls the bat back. No, she does. She lays down a bunt right to the pitcher, and Kushabuski is going to get on, and now we've got Ripon in a pickle situation, but Berlin doesn't bite on it. Downs was pretty much all the way to third base, but they let her get back to second as Lexi Miller will step up with runners on all bases. So bases loaded as Lexi Miller steps back up. She had a base hit in the first inning. Miller takes a ball inside. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes is the count to Lexi Miller. Ripon with an opportunity here to go ahead in this ball game as bases are loaded with 1 out. Miller takes a strike, inside pitch, and she didn't take it, but I can't say I blame her. That wasn't a pitch I would have taken either. That was inside. That would have been on the handle of the bat, the neck of the bat, I should say. Next pitch is going to be high and outside for ball 2. We're at 2-ball, 1 strike count. Miller steps up again for the Tigers. That's going to be on the ground, a wild pitch. It hit her actually, so bounced off her, and Eva Baker comes across to score for the Tigers, and that ties our ball game up here this afternoon. And 4-4 in the bottom of the second inning, and bases remain loaded as Lexi Miller gets on a hit by the pitcher. Abby Radloff steps up. She gets a strike on the first pitch. And she pops that one up high, and left fielder gets under it for out number 2. For a minute there, it didn't look like anybody was getting under that ball for Berlin, but the left fielder came in and snagged it and give Radloff the out. So Ripon runners hold as Avery Makarevich steps up to the plate, and she'll hit one up, and that's going to go foul and drop behind the Berlin dugout for strike 1. Avery Makarevich has a home run, actually 2 home runs under her belt this season, as she had a home run in each game of the doubleheader against Plymouth about a week or so ago. Now she take a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Makarevich. This wind out here playing with the ball a little bit this afternoon. And that one's going to be a high pitch for ball 2 to Avery. They try to get Downs out over at third base, but she gets back in time. Avery Downs at third, Emily Kajabuski at second, and at first is Lexi Miller, and Makarevich will hit that one foul. That'll go into the left field of the JV game. And so the young lady in the spectators is going to run over there and grab it bring that back to the field. As Makarevich will step in for her next pitch. She's got a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Negber winds up and a hard hit. Nice pitch. Nice one to hit, but it went down to third baseline for foul. So the count will remain 2 balls, 2 strikes this afternoon. And outside pitch is going to give Makarevich ball 3. So full count to Makarevich here this afternoon. Makarevich got a base on balls in the first inning. She was the last one to score a run for the Tigers in the first inning. And a low pitch she takes a swing at, practicing her golfing. She would have been on base if she would have let that one go. But that fouled away for a strike. 3 balls. And she'll hit this one, and it's going to drop inside the third base foul line. One runs across, Downs, and next one is Kajabuski to come across, and that's going to put runners at second and third for the Tigers as Makarevich with a double here this afternoon. She'll be on second base, and that will put Lexi Miller at third. And Ripon takes the lead here, 6-4 here this afternoon. Kajabuski and Downs came across to score, and a base hit. It's actually going to be a foul ball. Lexi Miller, that ball hit her right in the leg. She tried to jump out of the way, but hit her right in the leg down at third base. Wind's trying to blow us away again here as Cassidy Motter with a no ball, 1 strike count, and a high pitch to Cassidy is going to give her a ball for 1 ball, 1 strike count. Ripon takes the lead here in the bottom of the second inning, 6-4 on a base hit by Makarevich. Now another ball to Motter, gives her a 2 ball, 1 strike count. She'll step back in and wait for the pitch from Negber with runners at second and third and 2 outs. Next one hits her, so that's going to load the bases up once again. We've had 2 hit by the pitcher here in this game, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe Negber hit Cassidy in the game over in Berlin twice in the game over at Berlin earlier on the 29th of April. That was the first meeting this season between these two. So Erica Mills ready to step up to the plate. Erica got the 3rd out of the first inning. So bases loaded this afternoon with Mills at the plate and 2 outs. 1-0 count. 1 ball, no strikes. Next pitch is high for a ball. So 2 balls, no strikes now to Erica. Sand's starting to pick up a little bit from the diamond again with this wind. And another ball to Erica makes it a 3 ball, 0 strike count. Negber winds it up, and that's going to be ball 4, and ball 4 going to put her on base on a base on balls, and that's going to walk a run in for the Tigers. Make it 7-4 in favor of Ripon. As everybody will advance, that puts Avery Makarevich on third, Cassidy Motter on second, and Erica Mills on first on the base on balls. And so Eva Baker, who started this inning, will step up to the plate. She'll take ball 1 on the first pitch from Negber here. 2 outs, bases loaded for the Tigers. As Negber winds it up once again, and this one's gonna pop up foul. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Baker. Baker had a base on balls her first time up at bat in the top of the second inning. As she started out the inning for the Tigers, bottom of the second. Got a base on balls and came across to score for Ripon. As she winds it up, and again a ball. As that should be a 2-2 count. And now it's 2-2. Okay, I thought the umpire had indicated 2-2 before, but now it's 2-2 to Baker. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wind is really picked up here, and hit the ball down the third base line. But the count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes. With 2 outs and bases loaded. A good opportunity for Baker to bring some runs in again with a base hit. She's hitting the ball just the wrong direction, and this one's going to go out to left field. Jenna Straninsky reaches up and pulls it in for out number 3 for the Tigers. But the Tigers will get 4 runs across here in the bottom of the second inning as they take the lead against Berlin, 7-4. Look at the next senior highlight here tonight, and that's going to be Avery Downs. Avery Downs says she's planning on attending Grand Canyon University in Arizona to study forensic pathology, or forensic psychology. Her favorite memory would be when they advanced to the second round of regionals on her sophomore year. So Avery been playing on varsity since at least her sophomore year. I don't know if she played her senior year or not, or freshman year. I'm sorry, this is her senior year. Jason over here telling me yes, indeed she did. So 4 years on varsity for Avery Downs. Bottom of the next inning, we're going to take a look at Cassidy Motter. Berlin gets ready to come up to the plate. The batter for Berlin coming up will be Hannah Negber. Hannah, the designated hitter or designated person for the Indians. And she'll step up to the plate here in the top of the third inning for Berlin. She's got 1 run scored. She had a 2-run double in the first inning. As Hannah steps up to the plate, and strike swinging right down the middle by Simonis for the Tigers. Hannah waits for the next pitch from Simonis, and strike 2 called. So a no ball, 2 strike count here to Hannah Negber to start the top of the third inning. And next one's a strike, and she'll foul that one back. That's going to go all the way back to the batting cages here at Murray Park in Ripon this afternoon. We'll be down at Kettle Moraine Lutheran on Thursday, and she takes a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hannah Negber. With cooperative weather, we should be able to get all of the games in for you this year. As another ball now to Negber, so that gives her 2 balls, 2 strikes here at top of the 3rd inning. The leadoff batter in the top of the 3rd inning. Next pitch, she'll hit that one foul back behind the Ripon bench, Ripon dugout. So count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes for Negber. And she'll foul that one back. So Negber getting some swings in here. And apparently the clock or the scoreboard over at the JV field isn't working. There's nothing up on the board for the JV game. So we can't help you out with the score there. And this one she's going to drill foul deep, way back to the left field line. Almost back to the Little League diamond. That ball's going to go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As next pitch is a ball. So full count now to Hannah Negber by Simonis. I think this wind has got a lot to do with some of these. And a swinging strike as Negber goes down on a strikeout here to start off the top of the 3rd inning, and that's going to bring up Macy Rilling. Her 2nd time at bat here in the 3rd inning. First time in the 1st inning, she grounded out to 3rd base for an out. First pitch was a ball. She'll step up for the 2nd pitch from Simonis. That's going to be a ball high. 2 balls, no strikes to Rilling. And another ball to Macy Rilling. We have Maddie Rilling and Macy Rilling. I'm not sure, but I'm going to almost guess that they're twins. I'll have to look into that. She steps back up to the plate and takes a ball. Base on balls for Rilling. So Simonis puts 1 runner on here for Berlin as Jenna Straninsky steps up to the plate. She grounded out to 2nd base. Actually, she was put out at 2nd base. She got on a base hit. Put out at 2nd base on a hit by Claire Bartle. And Straninsky hits it to the opposite field, right field, for a base hit. Puts runners at 1st and 2nd now for Berlin. 1 out. Runners at 1st and 2nd for Berlin, and stepping up to the plate is Alyssa Smoody. Waits for the first pitch from Simonis and takes a big swing and a miss at the first pitch from Simonis for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Alyssa Smoody. 1 out, runners at 1st and 2nd for Berlin. She'll foul that one back. If that ball would have snuck through the fence, Jason would have had that ball. So next pitch to Smoody. And another big swing and a miss. And she's going to be tagged out. So 2 outs now for Berlin. 2 strikeouts here in this inning. Claire Bartle will step up. She had a base on balls. Managed to get over to 2nd base in the 2nd inning. Bartle, the last hitter in the lineup for Berlin. So 2 outs, runners at 1st and 2nd with a 1 ball, no strike count to Claire. She'll step back up to the plate And she hits this one. This one going to go to right field. Kozhevsky's there to pull that one in for out number 3. So Ripon holds off a possible threat by Berlin here in the top of the 3rd inning to remain with the lead. And Ripon has 7-4 lead over Berlin. Welcome back to Murray Park here in Ripon as we get ready to start the bottom of the 3rd inning. Tigers coming to bat. I better flip my score sheet over here. First batter up for Ripon is going to be Layla Simonis. Layla doing a good job on the mound for the Tigers. As first pitch to Layla is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Layla here. As she takes another ball on the second pitch. So 2 balls, no strikes to Layla Simonis from Negbur. Negbur puts one in low this time. So 3 balls, no strikes. Layla flew out to the second baseman for the first out in the last inning. Now takes the strike as that brushes the outside edge of the plate. Gives her a 3 ball, 1 strike count. Leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and that ball hit her, I believe. Umpire's saying a dead ball, so Simonis gets first base as she was hit by the pitcher. It's the 3rd hit by the pitcher we've had here this afternoon by Berlin. As Avery Downs steps up. I think most of those hit by pitchers are a result of the wind more than anything. Ripon bringing in a courtesy runner for Simonis. Trying to find a helmet, and that's going to be Kylie Disterhalf going in to run for Layla Simonis. Next pitch to Avery. First pitch actually is a ball, and Disterhalf going to advance over to second for the Tigers. So 1 ball to Avery Downs in the first game between those two. My executive director and statistician telling me that Ripon had 6 hit by pitcher in that game as a ball hit out to center field. And they're going to get the double play as Disterhalf too far off the bag. And Disterhalf thrown out at second base. So a double play here for the Berlin Indians as Downs flies out to center field. And then Disterhalf gets thrown out at second on the throw from left field. to second base. So 2 outs, nobody on, as Kajabuski back at the plate again. She had a base hit in the second inning. She's the top of the lineup. She grounded out to the shortstop. And this ball gonna go foul, and actually I'm mistaken. That was a fly out to the shortstop. Can't read my own writing here. So Kajabuski steps back up to the plate, and we're gonna have a 1 ball, 2 strike count to Kajabuski. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning here. Nobody on. She'll hit this one out to center field, left center, and Jenna Straninsky will come across from left field and pull that one out of the air for out number 3, as Ripon goes 3 up, 3 down. No runs across, no hits, as Ripon leads here at the end of 3 complete innings of play, 7-4. We want to look at the last senior highlight here today, and that's going to be Cassidy Motter. Cassidy will be attending UW Whitewater in the fall to study business and play softball. Most memorable moment was playing high school ball, or playing in her high school ball would be when they played WLA, Winnebago Lutheran Academy, and she stole home plate. Everybody was caught off guard, including the coaches. So we want to also say thank you to Rick Dom. Rick Dom providing the nice photograph of the ladies that you're able to see. So a big thank you to Rick for providing that for us. So Berlin will step back up to the plate to start the top of the, this will be the top of the 4th inning. And first batter up is the top of the lineup, Josie Bartle. As first pitch is a ball to Bartle. So 1 ball, no strikes. She hits this one. This one's going to roll slow up to second base, and nobody there, as Motter has to go all the way across to the far side of the base to get that. So a base hit for Josie Bartle. Bartle with 2 base hits here this afternoon, as Jenna Negber steps up. Jenna had a base hit in the 1st inning and a run, and then struck out in the 2nd inning. And we've got a foul tip by Negber, so no advance. It's a dead ball by Bartle. She'll have to return back to first, as we got no balls, 1 strike to Jenna Negber. So Negber back up to the plate. This one, nice stop by Makarevich, and it's going to go a little bit wild out to center field, but right there to stop it is Lexi Miller. So Bartle holds at first base, as we have a 1 ball, 1 strike count on Negber. Negber takes another ball. Wild pitch is going to get back. That's going to advance Bartle over to second base. 2 balls and a strike to Jenna Negber. Avery Makarevich been doing a nice job of stopping the balls from getting by her. Some of these have been balls that hit the ground, so the next pitch is a ball. And that's going to give Negber a 3 ball, 1 strike count. And the next one's a ball, so Negber will take a base on balls, as Jalen Moen will step up to the plate. Has runners at first and second, and nobody out here for Berlin. So at the moment, Berlin with 1 runner in scoring position as Mullen steps up to the plate and waits for the first pitch from Simonis. First pitch is inside for ball one. Still no outs here in this top of the fourth inning. Berlin at the plate. Jalen's Moan waiting for the pitch. That's going to be a ball. As Mullen takes a 2-ball, no strike count now. As she'll step back up to the plate and wait for the next pitch by Layla Simonis. This one's going to be low again. A nice stop by Makarevich. As we have a 3-ball, no strike count now. So, runners at first and second, no outs, and that's going to put Mullen on base. On a base on balls and loads things up here this afternoon. In the fourth inning for Berlin as Maddie Rilling steps up to the plate. Rilling with a base on balls in the first inning and then grounded out to third base. In the second inning, has a run across and a strike pitch to Rilling. Simonis needs to buckle down here on these next three batters to keep Berlin from getting any runs to come across. As Simonis winds it up. Oh, that looked really good, but umpire called it a ball. Must have been enough inside that didn't catch enough of the plate. But it looked good from our vantage point. And this one's going to be a ground ball to second base. And thrown out at home on a high throw by Radloff. Makarevich jumps for it and steps on the plate just as the runner come across. So that's going to be out number one. So nice job by Makarevich to grab that ball on a high throw. But that's going to keep the bases loaded. As Rilling gets on a fielder's choice, and Hannah Negber steps up. Ball one to Negber. Negber with a base hit in the first inning, strikeout in the third inning. Starting off here in the fourth inning with a ball from Layla Simonis. So Simonis winds it up once again, and that's going to be fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Next pitch is a foul for another strike, so it makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hannah Negber as Coach Makarevich wants a timeout. Infield will come in, and Coach Makarevich will talk to Simonis and his infield. Try to settle Simonis down a little bit and get her to take a deep breath and get her, hopefully she'll be able to start throwing some strikes in there. This wind also doesn't help any. So everybody back on base with 1 out, bases loaded. And at the plate is Hannah Negber. She's got 1 ball, 2 strikes against her here in the top of the fourth inning. Negber steps into the box and waits for the pitch. A big swing and a miss, and they try to throw out the runner at third base, but she gets back in time. So out number 2 for Berlin, as as Hannah Negberg goes down swinging, brings up Macy Rilling. Rilling with the base on ball. She'll do a ground to third base, and she throws it to home, and that'll be the third out of the inning. So Ripon gets out of what could have been a bad inning for them, as bases were loaded most of the inning, but Ripon gets out of it on a ground ball to third base for out number 3. Here in the top of the 4th inning, as Ripon continues to lead here 7-4. Welcome back to Ripon's Murray Park. Stepping up to the plate to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Tigers, Lexi Miller. Miller with a base hit in the 1st inning. She was hit by the pitcher in the 2nd inning. And she'll take ball 1 to start the bottom of the 4th inning. Looking over at the JV game, scoreboard working now. It looks like it's Ripon trailing 6-4 in the 4th inning. And Miller reaches out and tags one, and she hits it right back to the pitcher, and she'll get it over to first base for the first out of the inning. That was an outside high pitch, and Miller reached out and got it. But it went back to the pitcher for out number 1, as Abby Radloff will step up for Ripon. Radloff with the base on balls has a run across and then flew out to left field. And now she tags one, goes by the shortstop for a base hit. So Abby Radloff getting things going here in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Tigers with a base hit. She gets on with 1 out. That'll bring up Avery Makarevich. Makarevich had a base on balls and scored a run in the 1st inning, and then hit a double in the 2nd inning. So Makarevich takes the first pitch. That's going to be outside. Radloff leads off. Gets back to first as they keep an eye on her. Makarevich, 1 ball, no strikes. We've got 1 out here and 1 on in the bottom of the 4th inning. Next pitch is ball. That's going to drop on the infield, and Makarevich going to make it safe to first base. Gets a base hit out of it as Radloff advances to second. So Cassidy Motter steps up to the plate with runners at first and second and 1 out here. Motter with a base, or rather with a fly out to first base, and then she was hit by the pitcher in the 2nd inning. So Cassidy waits for the pitch, and she hits this one. Oh, opposite field, goes in the hole out in right field, right center field. That's going to bring Radloff across. Makarevich is coming across, and Motter will stop at third. So nice job by Cassidy Motter. 2 RBI hit here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Is going to score 2 runs and move Ripon up to a 9-4 lead here against Berlin in the bottom of the 3rd inning this afternoon. So nice job by Cassidy Motter. And that'll bring up Erica Mills with 1 out, 2 runs across, and runner at third. as she gets a strike called on her. And Motter leads off, and they throw it over to third, and they'll throw her out. So Motter gets tagged out for out number 2. With the catcher throwing the ball over to third base for out number 2, as Mills steps back up. Erica Mills steps back up for the next pitch. Next pitch is going to be inside for a ball. Gives her 2 balls and 1 strike. Ripon with 2 outs. 2 runs have come across. Nobody on. As Mills takes a called strike. 1 ball. Correction. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 Mills. And she fouled it, tipped that ball. So it's a foul. She'll hold her ball count at 2 balls and 2 strikes here this afternoon. 2-2. 2 Mills with 2 outs, nobody on for the Tigers. Erica Mills looking to get on. She'll hit this one out to center field, and the center fielder gets under it for the out. But Ripon gets 2 runs across on a triple by Cassidy Motter here to put Ripon ahead here in the bottom of the 4th inning, 9-4. Back here at Murray Park with Ripon leading Berlin as we start the top of the 5th inning. Ripon leading here 9-4. Ripon getting 2 runs in the bottom of the last inning, 4th inning, on a triple by Cassidy Motter. She brought 2 runs in. First batter up for Berlin here as we start the top of the 5th is Jenna Sterninski. Sterninski takes a ball to start things out here in the top of the 5th inning. Takes another ball. She steps back up to the plate, and that's going to be up there, but she's going to pop that one up, and Mills gets under it, but it's against the Berlin dugout fence, and she isn't able to pull that one in. So that's going to be a strike on Sterninski. Gives Sterninski a 1 ball, 2 strike count. As Simonis with the pitch fouls it. So count will hold at 1 ball and 2 strikes. She steps in, waits for the pitch from Simonis. And that's going to be a fly ball out to left center field, and Baker out there to pull it in for the out. Baker and Lexi Miller are both there at the same time. But Baker, the one that reached out and pulled it in, I'm not sure if anybody called it or Miller kind of looked, and it kind of looked like Baker might have taken it almost right out of Miller's glove. But strike now to Alyssa Smoody as she steps up to the plate. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 5th inning for the Tigers, or excuse me, for the Berlin Indians. And fouls that one back behind us for strike 2. As no balls and 2 strikes to Alyssa Smoody. Smoody got on a fielder's choice back in the 1st inning and then struck out in the 3rd. So now a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Smoody. Nobody on. Smoody only the 2nd batter up. We got 1 out. And this one's going to be a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Smoody. So Smoody will step back up to the plate and wait for the pitch by Simonis. And that's in there. It's going to be a ground ball to second base. Radloff over to Mills for the out. 2 away for Berlin. As that'll bring up the bottom of the lineup, Claire Bartle. Bartle, the last batter in the lineup for Berlin. Bartle hits a ball deep to left field, and that's going to go all the way back to the fence. Baker giving chase, and that's going to move Bartle all the way around to second base, puts runner in scoring position for Berlin, as that'll bring up the top of the lineup, Josie Bartle for Berlin. Bartle with a base hit in the 1st and the 4th innings, grounded out in the 2nd inning to third base. She has a run across in the 1st inning. So 2 outs here for Berlin, as Bartle will step into the box and wait for the first pitch from Simonis. And she'll hit that one right back to Simonis. Simonis gets it over to first base. And they're going to say the runner was put out at first base for out number 3. So Ripon gets out of another one here in the 5th inning, and they maintain the lead here entering the bottom of the 5th, 9-4 against Berlin this afternoon. Ripon entering the bottom of the 5th inning here at Murray Park in Ripon. First batter up for Ripon will be Eva Baker. Eva had a base on balls in the 2nd inning, then flew out in the 3rd inning, or rather it was still the 2nd inning. Her second at bat in the 2nd inning, flew out to left field. Now takes a base on, or a ball rather, to start the bottom of the 5th inning for the Tigers. And another ball to Baker. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Bruce Link with you here this afternoon, alongside Jason Motter doing our technical work. And another ball to Baker. Gives her 3 balls and no strikes. No scores showing up on the diamond over on the JV game. JV's playing Lamira here this afternoon. Berlin and Baker will take a base on balls. That'll put put a runner on for Ripon to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Tigers. Abby Bumby. Allie Bumby going to step in as a pinch hitter for Ripon for Simonis. So Allie Bumby enters as a pinch hitter here in the top of the 5th inning for the bottom of the 5th inning for the Tigers. I tell you, if I didn't have Jason here to keep me straight, I'd be lost. I also give Jason a big head because I keep telling him he's right. He says, just don't tell my wife that. A strike 2, Bumby on the first pitch, and they throw it over to first trying to get Baker off the base, but she gets back in time. So no balls, 1 strike to Allie Bumby. Waits for the next pitch, and big swing and a miss for strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes to Bumby. The score over on the JV diamond is Lamira 6, Ripon 4. And Bumby falls that one back behind us. So no balls, 2 strikes to Allie Bumby here this afternoon. Bumby getting a chance to bat as Ripon leads here in the bottom of the 5th inning. She hits one out to right field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Baker will go to second base, and Bumby gets a base hit, putting runners at first and second. That'll bring up Avery Downs, third baseman for Ripon. Downs got on first on an error in the 2nd inning, then flew out to center field in the 3rd inning. So Avery hoping to get a base hit here and bring some more runs in for the Tigers here in this bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch to Downs is a ball high. No outs. Runners at first and second for the Tigers with Avery Downs at the plate. 1 ball. Next one, she hits that foul down the third base line for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Avery. She hit that right at Coach Makarivich. He had to duck to get out of the way. So she'll wait for the next pitch by Negber. That's going to be outside. Runners for Ripon are going to advance to second and third, putting Ripon in good position on the bags. As we have a 2 ball, 1 strike count to Avery Downs. Ripon leading here in the bottom of the 5th inning, 9-4, and looking to put more runs on the board. Big swing and a miss by Downs. That'll make it 2 balls, 2 strikes to Avery. Avery would love to get a hit here and bring more runs in for the Tigers. She'll step out of the box now. I think she thought that Negber was taking too much time pitching. And she throws the ball at a wild pitch, and that's going to bring Baker in across. 4, she'll slide in for a run. And that'll put Bumby on third. They tried to throw her out. It was a close call, but Baker got in there just before they could put the tag on her for the run. Downs with a full count. And next pitch, she'll hit that foul, I believe. See if anybody can get to it. Nope, it's going to go foul out of bounds. Past the out of bounds line here. So 3 balls, 2 strikes to Avery Downs. Avery with a chance to bring another run in for the Tigers. Ripon leading here 10-4 in the bottom of the 5th inning. And a big swing and a miss as Downs goes down for the first out. swinging strike by Avery Downs is going to bring up Emily Koziobuski. Emily flew out in the first inning, base hit in the second inning, and she flew out to left field in the third inning. Now here in the fifth inning, she takes the ball on the first pitch. Ripon leading 10-4 with one out and a runner at third. Allie Bumby at third base for the Tigers. Chance to put another run on the board for Ripon as Koziobuski fouls that one back. Going to make it a 1-ball, 1-strike count this afternoon. Koziobuski steps in and waits for the pitch by Negbert. She'll hit that one between third and shortstop, and Bumby comes across to score, making it 11-4 here this afternoon for the Tigers. Puts Koziobuski on first with one out on a base hit for Koziobuski. Trying to get my papers in order. The wind keeps blowing them around here as Lexi Miller steps up to the plate for the Tigers. Miller with a base hit in the first, hit by a pitcher in the second, and then grounded out to the pitcher. And a wild pitch is going to send Koziobuski to second. Excuse me, had to get a drink. Sand is getting in my mouth here. Koziobuski's at third on another wild pitch. Counts Alexi Miller as 2 balls, no strikes. And now a strike right down the middle to Lexi. Lexi with an opportunity to get a run in here. Pitch, and she'll hit that one. That's going to be a pop-up, and that'll be pulled in by the shortstop right behind second base. And Koziobuski will hold at third base. So a pop-up to the shortstop for out number 2 is going to bring up Abby Radloff. Radloff with the base on balls in the first, flew out in the second, and then had a base hit in the fourth inning. Now base hit again, right up the middle. That's going to bring Koziobuski in. RBI hit for Radloff. So Radloff on first with 2 outs brings up Avery Makarevich. Second base hit of the afternoon for Radloff, and an RBI as well. Makarevich right down the middle. She'll pop this one up, and this is going to go foul. Now in the first base line, out of bounds. But first pitch to Radloff, last batter. She hit that right up the middle, line drive, right past the pitcher and out into center field as she got on base. Makarevich steps in for the next pitch. She tags this one opposite field, and this one's going all the way back to the fence. She'll go to second as Radloff will round third and come in for another run for the Tigers. So Makarevich with an RBI double this afternoon. And that's her second double of the afternoon as Cassidy Motter steps up. Motter had a triple last inning in the fourth inning. Brought in 2 RBIs. Waits for the pitch and up the middle. She'll pop that one up. And the third baseman will run over to get that one for out number 3. But Ripon pulls across 3 runs. And at the bottom of the 5th inning, it's Ripon 12, Berlin 4. 13-4. Want to just remind you, other conference games this afternoon taking place in the county at Ripon this afternoon. Campbellsport is at Plymouth, and Kewaskum is at Kettle Moraine Lutheran this afternoon. In other softball games, other happenings in the world of Ripon High School events, Ripon Boys Tennis hosting Two Rivers at the Ripon High School tennis courts at 4 o'clock. Track and field is over in Plymouth this afternoon for a quad against Campbellsport, Kewaskum, and Plymouth. That started at 4 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock or 4:45 this afternoon, same time the softball game got underway, the girls soccer hosting Waupun here in Ripon at Ingalls Field. So Berlin will be starting the top of the 6th inning here with Ripon leading 6-4. So Ripon leading here in the top of the 6th inning, 13-4. I had to check and see where I made the error in my scoring. I forgot to put Abby Radloff coming across the score on the Makarevich double. And first batter up for for Berlin will be Jenna Negber. As the umpire talking to Coach Makarevich. Okay, so because Bumby batted for Simonis last time up, that they had to get Simonis subbed back in to pitch for Ripon. So first pitch from Simonis to Negber is a strike right down the middle. Nice pitch by Layla this afternoon as Negber takes a no ball, 1 strike count. This is going to be a ball. So it'll be 1 ball, 1 strike to Jenna Negber. Pitcher to pitcher right now. Jenna Negber, the pitcher for Berlin. She waits for the next offering from Simonis. That's going to be right down the middle for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jenna Negber. She'll wait for the pitch from Simonis, and she'll tip that one foul. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jenna Negber from Simonis. Wind picking up again here this afternoon. And a swing and a miss by Negber. That's going to be out number 1. And brings up Jalen Moen. Moen struck out the first inning. Got on base in the second. And then had a base on balls in the 4th inning. So the first pitch from Simonis is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning for Berlin. As Mullen steps in for the next pitch. She's going to hit a line drive out to left field for a base hit. Get things started for Berlin. Maddie Rilling up next. Rilling with a base on ball. Scored a run in the 1st inning. Grounded out to 3rd in the 2nd inning, and then got on a fielder's choice in the 4th inning. So she'll step into the box and wait for the first pitch from Layla Simonis with a runner on first and 1 out. Right down the middle, she takes a swing and misses. Strike 1 to Maddie Rilling. And this one right down the middle, she's going to hit that one. A short little blooper out to left or right center field. Puts runners at first and second now for Berlin, as Hannah Negber will step up to the plate. Hannah had a double back in the first inning, then she struck out in the third and fourth inning. RBI double in the first. She scored a run. So she'll step up to the plate and wait for the first pitch from Simonis. Tag that one foul. So no ball, 1 strike. Count to Hannah Negber. Runner on first is Maddie Rilling, and Jalen Moan on second. And she'll hit that down the third base line for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Hannah Negber. 1 out, runners at first and second for Berlin. She'll step back up and wait for the pitch. Simonis winds it up, and a swing and a miss puts Negber out. They try to throw the runner at first out, but she gets back. So 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning for Berlin. And that'll bring up Macy Rilling. Rilling grounded out in the first and the fourth inning. She takes a strike on the first pitch from Simonis. Then she got on a base on balls back in the third. So no balls, 1 strike here to Macy Rilling. And pitch is high for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs with runners at first and second. Our score remains Ripon 13, Berlin 4, and she tips that one back foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Macy Rilling. So Simonis can get out of the possible threat here by Berlin this afternoon. And they throw the ball over to first once again, trying to get the runner out. But she gets back in time. As Rilling now with a 2 ball, 2 strike count. And she'll step in and wait for the next offering by Simonis. She winds it up, and that's going to be a hit out to left field, but Baker gets under it for out number 3 and cuts off the threat by Berlin here, as they have no runs across on 2 hits here in the top of the 6th inning. So going into the bottom of the 6th inning, Ripon leads it 13 to Berlin's 4. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Ripon's Murray Park. Going into the bottom of the 6th inning, Ripon leading here over Berlin 13 to 4, as Erica Mills will step up to the plate for the Tigers. Mills was at bat last inning when they threw Motter out at third base, trying to lead off too far. So Erica takes the first pitch for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes as she waits for Nigber's pitch. And I'll call a strike as she tried to bunt that one. It's a low pitch. Should have pulled back on that one, but she had already committed to it. Ripon College girls softball coach is here this afternoon, Steve Whammer, scouting these girls this afternoon. Got a 1-2 count. Now to Mills. 1 ball, 2 strikes. My technical support here on my right, feeding me information this afternoon. Mills will step back up to the plate and wait for the offering by Negber. That's going to be a ball high, so 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now to Erica Mills. Next pitch is in there, and she'll pop that one up, and that's going to go out of play, foul. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Erica Mills. Erica steps back into the box and waits for the pitch. Outside pitch she's going to take a swing at and fouls that one. The wind creating some few problems out here this afternoon, mainly for us here at our booth, as we're stationed right behind the backstop fence. Mills fouls that one away. Back behind the pavilion over here to the right. So our count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mills needs to straighten it out. And there it is, right up the middle. But it's going to go to the second baseman. She'll throw it over to first for out number 1 for Ripon. When that ball took off, it actually looked like it was going to go up over the top of the second baseman, but it dropped on the infield, and the second baseman scooped it up and threw it over to first for the out. So Eva Baker steps up. Eva, with 2 bases on balls, has scored across 2 runs and grounded out here in the game. And first pitch to Eva is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out here as Baker steps back up to the plate. Waits for the next pitch from Negber. And that's going to be a pop-up, and that's going to be the shortstop for out number 2. As shortstop was right there for Berlin to gather that one in, and that'll bring up Layla Simonis. Simonis will take a strike on the first pitch. Ripon leading here, 13-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. This will be, she gets another strike. So no balls, 2 strikes to Simonis. This will likely be Ripon's last at bat, as they lead here 13-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Softball plays 7 innings rather than 9 innings, as Simonis steps back up, and pitch catches the outside edge of the plate for strike 3. Caught Simonis looking. So 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Tigers, but score remains Ripon 13, Berlin 4. Back here at Ripon's Murray Park, I'm Bruce Link with your play-by-play this afternoon alongside Jason Motter, doing our technical work and feeding me information to share with you this afternoon. Ripon leads here going into the top of the 7th inning, 13-4 over Berlin. This may likely be the last time up to bat for Berlin unless they happen to get at least 9 runs. But first batter up for Berlin is Jenna Sterninski. Sterninski with a 2-ball, 0 count. 0 strike count on her. Now she takes a ball low for a 3-0 count. Sterninski waits for the pitch. And she'll get a base on balls here in the top of the 7th inning. Start off with a runner on base for Berlin. Brings up Alyssa Smoody. Smoody will step up to the plate. Avery Makarevich wants to go out and have a little talk with her pitcher and get her settled down a little bit. Let her take a couple of deep breaths and collect herself out there. So Makarevich will come back, set up behind the plate as catcher. And stepping in to the plate is Alyssa Smoody for Berlin. And pitch right up the middle. He popped up, and Erica Mills going to charge over there to pull it in for out number 1. And Sterninski will hold at first base. That'll bring up Claire Bartle. Bartle had a double in the 5th inning. She'll wait for the pitch, and that's going to be a ball. Sterninski going to advance over to second safely. Bartle with a 1-ball, 0 strike count. As she steps back up to the plate. And a strike right down the middle for Layla Simonis. Ripon leading here in the top of the 7th inning, 13-4, as the next pitch to Claire Bartle is a ball. Gives her 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out, runner at second for Berlin. Next pitch, she hits it over to third base. Downs pulls it in, he throws it high. That's going to be an error on Downs. So that's going to put runners at first and third. That was well over Erica Mills' head. 1 out, runners at first and third for Berlin, and coming up to the plate will be the leadoff batter, Josie Bartle. Josie had a base hit back in the 1st inning and in the 4th inning as well. And she grounded out in the 2nd and the 5th. So she charges the ball like she wants to bunt it, but ends up with a ball. 1 ball, 0 strikes to Josie Bartle. And next one's a ball. Outside pitch. Bartle, a lefty. Jenna Sterninski at third and Claire Bartle at first. And she hits that right back up the middle. I couldn't see exactly what happened, but I think that Simonis knocked it down, kept it from getting by her. That's going to load up the bases. One out, bases loaded, and stepping up to bat is Jenna Negber. Jenna been on base twice. She had a base hit back in the first inning. She laid down a bunt single in the first to get on. Bases loaded, one out. Negber, big swing and a miss. I'm going to give her an 0-2 count. No balls, 2 strikes. Waits for the next pitch by Simonis. And she'll hit that one. That's going to be a pop up to Abby Radloff. She'll throw it over to first to get the double play at first. So great job by Abby Radloff as Ripon's going to come away from this game with the win tonight as they win it 13-4. Be sure to join us next Thursday afternoon as we will be coming to you from Kettle Moraine Lutheran with first pitch scheduled for 4:45 p.m. And be sure to listen to Tiger Beat on 93.1 and 1600 WRPN every Thursday morning at about 8:20 a.m. for updates of what is taking place in Ripon High School sports. Brought to you by Accurate Controls in Ripon. Stay with us. I believe we're going to stay with this for the introduction of the seniors. So I don't know how much of that we're going to be able to catch on camera, but it is senior night here tonight, and I've been told that they were going to do a little presentation to the seniors here before we go home. JV game still in action over on the diamond behind us, but there's nothing up on the scoreboard, so we can't give you any update on what's going on with that. So we will be at Kettle Moraine Lutheran on Thursday night. Let's see what's going on here. It looks like some of the parents are getting flowers, and coaches over there as well. So getting ready to have a little presentation here. So I'm just going to step away for a minute. When we're ready, we'll come back on. Jason grabbing his camera here. He's going to go and get as close to the girls as they can so that you can see what's going on over there. They got posters up on the fence over there on the JV field. That was the best place to put them, otherwise it would have been in the way. So post getting hugs from their teammates. And so we're going to wrap it up here this afternoon. Once again, remind you to join us Thursday afternoon as we will be coming to you from Kettle Moraine Lutheran with the first pitch scheduled for 4:45 p.m. on Thursday. Once again, that final score today from Murray Park here in Ripon. Ripon 13, Berlin 4. For executive producer Jason Motter, I'm Bruce Lang saying good evening, everybody, and be safe. Thanks for joining us today, and as always, stay Tiger proud.